Well, I'm just glad to see us get to this part. Very outstanding outcome in the first part of this. We still got to go into tomorrow and the sentencing phase, but I seen the smile on the family's faces. I know that this don't bring back their son or their brother, but it's got to be a rewarding step in this process.
How has the family kind of conducted themselves this whole time? I mean, how tough has this been for them to come back and have to relive, some of these, witness testimony, video, that kind of thing?
I can only imagine, not actually being my family member, but it is a family member. It's through the thin blue line. We're all family. Whenever you have family members sitting in a courtroom for a week at a time, having to listen to testimony after testimony of the things that took place the night that their son or brother was killed, it's just got to be horrific on them to have to relive that, have to hear his voice on the videotapes over and over as the defense and the prosecution put that case on. So I've said earlier in the week, I know that once we can get all this behind them, let the healing begin. Once this trial's over, I feel like it's going to help, not forget Justin, but help in the healing for this family.
For those of us who don't know Justin, what kind of a guy was he?
He was a 22-year-old kid that was just getting his start in law enforcement and had a long career ahead of him that was cut short the night of March the 26th.
I'm very satisfied with the verdict so far. I mean, obviously the jurors took it seriously and went through the evidence. One of the first questions were they asked, for a particular piece of evidence, but I'm happy for the family. I'm happy for law enforcement. I mean, it's been a long time coming to get that guilty verdict for the people who lost Justin Terney.
Now, tell me what happens the next couple of days.
So I anticipate tomorrow morning we'll do opening statements. We'll present our evidence in aggravation, the aggravating circumstances of the case, and then I anticipate the defense will put on mitigation evidence, and then by the end of the week we should be able to get this back to the jury so they can decide on the appropriate punishment.
And what are you seeking?
We're seeking the death penalty.
Tell me why.
Obviously, in this case, we've alleged 4 aggravating circumstances, one being that Justin Terney was a police officer, that the defendant shot and killed Officer Terney to avoid arrest or prosecution, that he's a continuing threat to society, and that he has a previous violent conviction. And any one of those 4 things would qualify the defendant to get the death penalty in this case.
Can you tell me what that violent conviction is, or is it too early?
I believe it's A and B with a dangerous weapon.
Okay. Were you surprised that the jury was only out 55 minutes?
I mean, it was the way that the closings went, where the only issue was for them to decide whether or not there was intent to kill. If that's the only issue they had to talk about when they got up there, I mean, that seems about right. So I wasn't surprised, given the fact that that the issues had been narrowed for them so well that that's all they really had to talk about when they got there.